I told you I'd be right back with health. So now we are on to our health, and just a review from what we were talking about last week, a couple days last week. We've been talking about nutrients in you. Nutrients are, yep, okay, yep, I heard some of you. I didn't hear all of you though. What are nutrients? You shouldn't have to look it up. Okay, fine. Nutrients are say it with me, substances found in food that help your body grow and develop. What are nutrients? Substances found in food that help your body grow and develop, that help our bodies to grow and develop. So there are things that are in our foods that help our bodies, and that's important that we keep an eye on those nutrients that we're putting into our bodies so that we're getting the good things to help our bodies grow. So we talked about our vitamins last week, and we gave little hints for each of them that will hopefully help you. So vitamin A, we said it was from animals, that we get from animals. And it also is going to be very helpful with our eyesight, especially at night. So vitamin A is something that we want to make sure that we are getting enough of each day. The B vitamins, because remember, it says vitamin B here, but it's not supposed to. It's supposed to say the B vitamins, because the B vitamins, there are 8 of them, 8 B vitamins, and those change food into energy so that we have plenty of energy to do what we need to do during the day. Then vitamin C from citrus fruits, very good. And that helps to fight infections that come into our bodies. So the vitamin C is fighting off those infections and keeping them from affecting our bodies. Then we have vitamin D, which is the sunshine vitamin. So think about sunshine when you think about vitamin D. When it comes directly onto your skin, that sun is putting vitamin D in your body, but we said it's not just enough to get it from the sunlight, because too much sunlight could cause damage to our skin. So we also need to eat foods rich in vitamin D, and vitamin D helps to build strong bones so that we don't end up with diseases like rickets and different things that are soft, bendable bones. We want to keep our bones and our bodies healthy and strong. Then vitamin E. Vitamin E protects our cells, but it protects our cells from the foods that you eat that have that vitamin E in them. So eating good vitamin E filled foods will help to protect your cells in your body. And then finally, vitamin K, it helps your blood to clot. So it's a C, but it's a K sound. Clot, okay? So those, that's what we know with vitamin K. So remember these special things about your vitamins and know what each of them does. Now, I also have it here on the board so that you can look through and remember the special main parts about each of them. Vitamin A, animals. Vitamin B vitamins, 8. Vitamin C, citrus fruits. Vitamin D, sunshine. Vitamin E, eating, protects the cells. When we eat the right foods, it protects the cells. And then vitamin K clots your blood. Page 46 in your health books. We're going to be talking more about minerals. We talked a little bit about minerals last week. Minerals come from where? Where do we get minerals that our body needs? If you remember, and you should remember this not just from last week, but you should remember it from science earlier, right? Because remember, minerals come from the soil. What do the roots do? They bring water and minerals up to the plant so that all parts of the plant will get those water and minerals. And then when we eat the plant, we're getting those minerals, okay? So we're going to talk some more about some other minerals today. So first of all, we're going to look at the terms to remember. Carbohydrates. They are sugars and starches that are found in our foods. Sugars and starches. So some foods already have sugar in them. Some foods already have the starches in them. So we shouldn't have to add that necessarily. So it's just important to note. Then fiber. Fiber are the parts of grains, fruits, and vegetables that your body does not digest. So those parts that it don't digest are called fiber, okay? So potassium and sodium. We find potassium in fruits, vegetables, whole grain breads and cereals, nuts, and meats. That's where we're going to find good sources of potassium. If you often feel tired or grouchy, you may not be eating enough foods rich in potassium. So have mom and dad like shove some fruits and vegetables in your face, some meats, some nuts, some whole grain bread cereals. Maybe that will help you to not be so grouchy, okay? Or maybe you just need an attitude adjustment, but probably it could be from potassium, not having enough potassium. Too much sodium, and sodium is just simply salt, okay? Too much sodium can also keep your body from using potassium. So many times it's not that we don't have enough potassium in our bodies or we're not eating enough. Sometimes it's being canceled out because we eat too much salt in our diet. You may not be able to think well or do your best at school. A lack of potassium also affects how your heart works. So we want to take care of our hearts. That's what's keeping us alive. So make sure that we are getting healthy potassium in our diet and not so much sodium. The other thing I happen to notice, look at the sodium picture. It's kind of bland and dull, but look at the potassium picture. It's bright colors. And it's bold. Those are what we are going to look for when we're eating. We need to look for the bright, beautiful colors. God made them, so he's like, here, look at me, eat me. The fruits, the vegetables with their beautiful golds and reds and purples and oranges and greens and just very vibrant colors. But you look at packaged foods, which we're going to talk about in a minute, and those things that have a lot of sodium in them, they're dull colors. Okay, eat colorfully, eat your food colorfully, and that will really help you to remember to eat the right kinds of things. You probably get the sodium that your body needs just from table salt. Most people, though, eat too much salt. Do you add salt to your food before you even eat it? Please don't do that. Well, that grosses me out because I'm like, well, no, taste it first. How do you know it's not already salty enough? But people love their salt. And every time I think about that, I'm like, it's not good for your heart. It's not good for your blood. It's just not good for your body. Just hold off on the salt. And that's what it says in the next sentence. You should taste your food before adding any salt. And maybe stop using salt so much, you won't miss it. I promise you, you won't. My mom stopped us using salt a while ago, and I'm like, ugh, I don't need it now. So canned and packaged foods are usually very salty. So that's why you have to limit those canned and packaged foods. You also get sodium from baking soda, baking powder, and chemicals that are used to keep your food from spoiling. So they put sodium already in some foods just so that it can stay on the shelf or stay in the refrigerators at the grocery stores for a longer time without going bad. They're it's a preservative, so it keeps that from spoiling. So there's already some salt in those foods. You don't need to add more. Okay. If you eat too much sodium, your body stores the extra water that can make you feel super uncomfortable because you're not getting rid of that water. You know what it feels like when, you drink too much water and you haven't gotten rid of it. You feel very uncomfortable. And that's what can happen when you eat too much salt, too much sodium. To keep the amounts of potassium and sodium in your body well balanced, eat more fruits and vegetables and fewer salty foods. It's not saying none, but just fewer. Okay. Now, iron. Iron is a mineral that we use to make steel, but it is also found in our bodies. Iron is important to your body because it helps build healthy blood. So that's helping our blood to stay healthy. Liver is a very good source of iron. Of course it is. Liver is a good source of all of these vitamins and minerals that we've been talking about, but it's a good source of iron. Other good sources, not just liver, include lean meat, shellfish, yes, dark green leafy vegetables, egg yolks, dried peas and beans, dried fruits, and whole grain breads and cereals. So we can also get iron from those things as well. The acids from citrus fruits and juices help your body to absorb iron. So when we eat those citrus fruits and drink those juices, those acids from those help our body to absorb iron. Getting enough vitamin C helps your body use the iron that you eat. If you do not get enough iron from the food you eat, you will not have healthy blood. And this causes a disease called anemia. And that will make you feel extremely tired and weak. Your body doesn't want to move because the blood is not healthy. You don't have it flowing through like it should be. So you want to keep your blood as healthy as possible. So eat foods rich in iron to keep that blood going so that you can have the energy that you need. You won't feel tired or weak. Iodine. An important gland on the front of your neck is called the thyroid gland. It needs iodine in order to work properly. This gland affects how you grow and how your body functions. Without iodine, the thyroid gland may swell, making your neck look unusually large. Fish and other seafood are good sources of iodine. The salt in your shaker at home probably has iodine in it. Iodine is added to salt to help you easily get the amount of iodine that your body needs. So that's another very important aspect of having in our bodies. How does iodine affect our bodies? Right, it helps how you grow and how your body functions. All of that is very important. That thyroid gland, it affects how your body is growing, whether it's growing too fast or too slow, or many of those different things, okay? Now, carbohydrates. Carbohydrates. Emily gets up early on Saturday and goes outside to ride her bike. Do you do that, Emily Montepeque? I know that you're not supposed to be watching, but I saw that you commented the other day that you did watch one of my videos. So just checking. I know Stephen will probably tell you anyway. Emily gets up early on Saturday and goes outside to ride her bike. When she gets tired of that, she jumps on her trampoline. Oh, Emily, you're very busy. After lunch, she is ready to go swimming with her friends. Her parents often wonder how she has enough energy to play all day long. Do you like to run, ride your bicycle, swim? All of these activities take energy, and most of this energy comes from foods which contain carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are the sugars and starches in the foods that we eat. They help your body in different ways. Your body changes the starch from carbohydrate foods into sugar and then changes the sugar into energy. Your body needs vitamins and minerals to change sugar into energy. You don't want that sugar just staying in there. Sugary foods such as jam, syrup, frosting, cake, and candy are not. I know you were getting excited, right? No, they're not a good source of carbohydrates. There are better foods to eat to get the carbohydrates your body needs. Guess what? Fruits and vegetables, whole grain breads and cereals, seeds, nut, dried beans and peas, and honey are the best sources of carbohydrates. They contain natural sugar and starch. They also contain vitamins and minerals that your body uses to change the sugar into energy for your body. Most cereals are made from grains of wheat, corn, rice, and oats. Your body needs a small amount of whole grain breads and cereals every day. The more active you are, the more carbohydrates your body needs. Many people that are going out to do marathons, when they go and do their 26.1 miles, they eat and load up on carbohydrates before that. I've heard. I don't know because I've never done them, so I might be wrong. Somebody can tell me. But I hear that carbohydrates are something that they might load up on so that they can have the energy to keep going. I might be wrong, but that's what I've heard. When you are not very active, you should get most of your carbohydrates from fruits and vegetables because they are low in fat. You don't want to be eating a lot of carbohydrate foods because they do have a lot of fat. And if you're not active, it's just adding that to your body rather than burning it off. If you eat too many carbohydrates, your body will change the carbohydrates that you do not use into fat. And we don't want that. Carbohydrates do these things. They give you energy. They make heat for your body to stay warm. They allow your body to use protein for growing and repairing itself. And they help your body use fats. So you're going to make a list of foods that are good sources of carbohydrates there. So you'll do that on your own. And then the last thing we're going to talk about is fiber. Grains and most fruits and vegetables contain fiber. Fiber is the part of food that your body does not digest. Fiber helps your body get rid of waste materials. When grains are refined, the fiber as well as some of the nutrients are removed. Eating whole grain foods that still have fiber and nutrients will help your body to operate as it should. Whole grain breads and cereals contain more vitamins, minerals, and fiber than white breads or refined cereals. So when the Lucky Charms or the trying to think like corn flakes or frosted flakes, that's what I was trying to think of. Well, those type cereals are not going to have the right minerals and carbohydrates and vitamins and fiber and things that your body needs. You need whole grain fruits or whole grain cereals and breads rather than the white breads or refined cereals. Then you've got your comprehension check at the bottom. Fill in the correct word and write the correct answer there. So we'll go through this chart the next time because time is going through, but it's just a reminder of the different minerals. Your calcium, what it does, your potassium, what it does, sodium, iron, and iodine. And we'll talk through each of those because that's going to help you tests and quizzes that we have coming up, knowing these things, seeing them often. So keep those in your mind and remember what we talked about today and review over those, but answer those comprehension check questions very carefully and we'll go over the answers tomorrow. All right, have a wonderful afternoon. I love you all and I will see you next time.